A week ago today, a librarian at St. Kate's was hit and killed by a driver near Lake Nokomis in Minneapolis. And ask anybody around there and they'll tell you how dangerous that particular intersection is where David was walking. People have been asking for change for decades, pushing for it. And now finally it may come. Jennifer Hoff is here with what's being done.
Jana, this is tricky because that intersection is run by three different agencies. So there's three jurisdictions that are sort of overlooking how everything works there. It also changes from a freeway, so folks are driving really fast, and then it merges down into a local street and ends at Nokomis Hiawatha Regional Park, which is a very popular spot for cyclists and pedestrians and vehicles. And those who are upset say the people who are driving those vehicles are usually going way too fast.
At the intersection of Cedar and Nokomis in South Minneapolis sits a popular regional park. And across from that, a neighborhood pizza parlor that has a front row seat to a space that can be anything but serene.
You don't have to be outside very long at this intersection to hear people honking, to hear people shouting, to see someone give someone the bird.
Stephanie Musich is a Parks Board commissioner who moved to the area 14 years ago and has seen her fair share of collisions, including a rollover in 2018 and a cyclist pinned under a car 3 years later.
Right away we were talking about how do we get things done that are going to make this safer, and there wasn't a whole lot of traction for that.
Is it safe to say you're frustrated?
I am very frustrated.
You're also very sad, I think, too. You were quite emotional at last night's meeting.
Musich didn't hold back at Wednesday's commissioners' meeting, addressing the latest incident at the trouble spot that for the first time turned deadly.
But it looked like a vehicle had hit and killed a pedestrian and driven away.
Minneapolis police say a driver hit and killed David Norris, the 39-year-old, a librarian at St. Catherine University who was out for a walk. And a week later, officers haven't made any arrests.
The real problem is speed, and addressing the problem of speed is what's going to prevent another death in this location.
Musich says 8 years ago, the board agreed to change how part of the park is used to study a transportation redesign with the city and Hennepin County that also have jurisdiction over the intersection and would take the lead on such a project.
And really all that we've gotten is more studies and more incremental change that hasn't resulted in any significant safety improvements.
There are recent ADA compliant upgrades, lane striping and concrete posts, along with some turn restrictions. Musich, though, saying it will take much more, like narrower lanes and traffic circles, to really reduce driver speeds to the posted 35.
Do you think there will ever be meaningful change in an acceptable time frame?
I am certainly going to continue to push for that. We have an obligation to not only recognize that this is a dangerous intersection, but to take those steps we need to take to ensure that it won't be forever.
We also reached out to all the players involved here, the city and county officials, to really press them about the changes at that intersection and ask if more are in store. A spokesperson for the county and the city reiterated those pavement markings, some of the trail crossing signage, and some medians there, and said they anticipate more conversations this year about next steps. The city council member who represents that area had the most detailed proposed intersection changes and says she is engaging that community as the work on that moves forward. Jana, we posted their full statements at KARE11.com, and by the way, all of them also reiterated just what a tragedy it is that happened also at that intersection.
Right, and you were there. You were obviously at Fat Lorenzo's right at that intersection, so you saw it firsthand. Did you sense that it looked dangerous? I know what I think. I live right over there, but what'd you think?
It's clear that, you know, it's hard to slow down. People are coming and going off really what is highway speeds, and they have to slow down right when they get there. And really the folks that work at that restaurant, they do have a front row seat at what's happened. A lot of those restaurant workers have had to come out and pull cars off of people. The restaurant building has been hit by vehicles. So certainly things could be a lot worse, and a lot of the people I talked to today said that is certainly going to happen if some of these changes are not made.
All right. Thank you so much, Jen. We appreciate it.